Hi, I'm Emilio Despirito, and we're here today with Diane Landry. She's an advisor with Engel Völkers, and I can't wait to introduce you to her. Diane, welcome to the brokerage.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah, great to have you. Diane, you have really such a wonderful background in different types of job positions, sales, working with nonprofits, working with the public. And when we connected recently, and we'll get into the past and whatnot, but when we connected recently and you said that you were going to get back into real estate, I was really excited because you are that person that has the natural ability to connect with people. You're an empathetic person, you're devoted, you're passionate, like pretty much everything that we look for in advisors on the Despirito team in Engel Völkers. So that was really great. You're welcome. Diane, real estate, why real estate? You could do anything.
Right. Well, I have to kind of back up to answer that question. I think what initially sparked my interest in the real estate career was after purchasing our first house. It was foreclosure, and my husband and I had never been through the process before, and we really relied heavily on our agents' expertise and knowledge. And,
Sure.
After we walked through the doors after the closing, and it was just a feeling I can't describe, as, any homeowner might know. And I felt that, to be part of something that big to help someone realize their dream and achieve their dream of home ownership, I thought it would be awesome to be a part of that. So I always sort of had that in the back of my mind. And that's how I got into the business the first time.
That's awesome. It was a good story. Yeah, buying a home can be a little scary, a little daunting at first. There's so many things. Do you know how many steps are involved in buying a home?
Hundreds.
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah, so on the buy side, roughly 175. On the sell side, 185. So what is that, 360? That's perfect. That 360 is perfect because I feel without the right advisors, people would be spinning in circles. So it's really amazing. And that's a good why. So you bought that first home. Was that your property in Woonsocket that we eventually sold for you?
No,
it was a different
that
one.
was also in Woonsocket, but
Okay.
the one that you had sold was my second home.
Okay, that was your second home.
Yes.
And then we helped you buy your third home.
Correct.
Awesome. So, all right. So Diane, you're from the Woonsocket area, right? And you have a wonderful family. Yeah,
I
you're
think
welcome.
so too.
Yeah, you do. And so tell us a little bit about your family.
So I've been married for 33 years, and we have two wonderful children. They're 28 and 26. We are very blessed. We have a lot of family locally still, and my mom is still around, and my husband's parents are with us. They actually live with us. We have a beautiful home, which you helped us purchase, and beautiful in-laws. So we're just very blessed to have our family with us.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then I think we met at the Stadium Theater, right?
We did.
That's where we originally met.
Yes.
And so can you tell us a little bit about your background and what you did over at the Stadium Theater in Woonsocket? Because it's such a wonderful place.
Yeah, so I'm so blessed to have worked at the stadium. I was there for 9 years, and it was a wonderful experience. I got to meet so many people from all walks of life, and that was probably one of the best takeaways that, from that job, was just all the wonderful people that I got to meet, whether it be, sponsors and advertisers, to our 200 strong army of volunteers, to the patrons that are coming in the door at the variety of events. So lots of customer service experience there, relationship building, and that's really, what I thrive on. So it was a great experience. Definitely.
Yeah, you are a networker. You and I went to a business networking international meeting recently, and I could just see, when we were there, you have that ability to connect with people. And I think you're welcome. That's the biggest thing in real estate is realizing that, there's somebody else on the other side of this transaction. These are people that we're dealing with, that we're working with. And that's the key ingredient. And like I said earlier on, to be empathetic, to be understanding, to really see that people are going through not only this purchase, which is actually can be a lot of work, right? But they might also be going through a sale. They might be going through a divorce, a death, changes, the largest changes in their life is usually what brings on, real estate. And sometimes it could be something exciting like a new child, or the size the family household is increasing, the in-laws coming in,
Right.
So that's great.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly the point, like you just made. During my time at the stadium, I, was able to build great relationships, and, I saw people through cancer, through deaths, through divorces, and, you get to know them on a personal level. And I really love that. And, you create lifelong relationships with that. And I think what I love about real estate is it's sort of the same thing. Every day is different. Every client is different. Every transaction is different. And so I enjoy getting to know their story and getting to know their needs and their desires and their dreams, and, just working with them to help that happen. So, I've always read that if you want to have a fulfilling life, you turn around and help somebody else. So I can't think of a better way than to help someone purchase a home.
I love
it's
that.
It's life-changing.
It really is.
It is.
And real estate is, that's nothing new to you. You were doing real estate before your job at the Stadium Theater, right?
Yeah, so it was in the early 2000s. I was a realtor for about 3 years, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But it was the demands of, having a family and a husband and, homework, and it just proved to be a little bit too much. So I didn't want to compromise my family time. So I made the decision to step away, and it was a good decision at the time. But it was always in the back of my mind. I always loved it and just loved the whole business. And so I thought it was time to get back in.
So early 2000s, skip ahead to today, 20 years later. What have you seen, as the most drastic changes?
In terms
of just maybe the technology.
Or
big difference, right?
Big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference. One of the things I was so impressed with when I came here to Engel Völkers was the arsenal of tools, marketing tools that are available. None of that was around way back when. When I was in real estate the first time. So it's not going to lie, it's a little bit overwhelming, but it's wonderful because you have everything at your fingertips, and they provide you the support, the training, and all the tools to keep you connected as much as possible to your clients. So, and it just, it allows you to give them that, the service that they deserve. So
Agreed.
It's exciting.
Yeah,
it's really exciting.
It is very exciting. It's like some of the tools and stuff, I'm like, how do we ever do real estate without it, right? Did you still, so in the early 2000s, a lot of it was more internet based, but it was like early internet, right? Because realistically, internet, it came out a long time ago, but really only started getting adopted in, maybe the mid 90s. And then towards the late 90s, pretty much everybody started having the internet. Right. The early 2000s, it was still a newer thing. So there wasn't even, I don't even know if Zillow was out yet. These websites
I don't remember it being out that early.
Or in its infancy.
Yeah.
And people didn't even realize what it was. And now there's all these different websites, these different portals, but more importantly, mobile. Everyone's on their phone.
Absolutely. I remember driving around with clients with maps in my car, and I would have to map out the routes for them, and just it's amazing how far everything has come. It's hard to keep up sometimes with the technology.
It is. It changes so quick, but we do our best to stay on top of it. And I think you're going to be absolutely fantastic with this. Yeah, definitely. You're welcome. So what are your when you see when you think of your perfect client, who do you think that is? Do you envision your perfect client that you love to work with, or somebody that you love to help out, or any kind of niche in real estate that you'd like to get into?
Yeah, I don't know if I have one in particular, but I can say that I probably hold a little special spot for first-time home buyers, only because I know how much we benefited the first time we bought a home. So definitely would love to help somebody have that first experience. But really it would be anyone. And I can appreciate, the processes in different scenarios, because like I mentioned, the first time we bought a house, it was a foreclosure.
Yeah.
The second time we bought a house, we bought from a for sale by owner.
Oh, wow.
And we had no one representing us.
How was that?
It ended up turning out okay,
Mhm.
but now in hindsight, I realize how much more value a real estate agent representing us would have been.
Yeah.
It did work out fine, but now you can kind of second guess a few things.
Mhm.
And then our third house, how that went. Full disclosure, you helped us find our dream home that we had our eye on for
beautiful
about
spot.
25 years.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're going to move anymore. So, but having you and Jackie there, during that process was just invaluable.
Yeah, Jackie Karam. And I think realistically, that's when we all became a team, because Jackie and I always talk about our favorite clients over the years and whatnot. And we get really close with our clients. We become friends with them. I mean, and you and Mike always came up.
Thank you.
Always. You're welcome. But you guys were great to work with. It was a rewarding experience all around, because when you work with people that appreciate and see the hard work that we as realtors put into it, it's that means the most to us.
Right.
It really does. Because it can be a service job, sometimes can be a thankless job, and not only in real estate, but in any kind of service. I'm sure some nurses and doctors and attorneys and policemen and women, I'm sure they might even feel the same way sometimes. Dealing with the public's not always easy.
Right. Yeah, it can be difficult because there are a lot of personalities involved.
Yeah, and not only that too, but sometimes we gotta take ourselves back and think well, the stress people go through. And I think that's another thing too, is that over the years working with you in your various positions at the Stadium Theater, you've always, I've just kind of watched you from afar, and you've always been able to maintain yourself in a very professional, consistent light. And that's something that I never take for granted when I see someone to be able to do that. Does that make any sense?
It does, yeah. It does. Definitely it can be challenging to deal with people who are under, stress and pressure, but it's something that you get better with as you go and as you experience each situation. So, it's something that you work at, every day. Everyone can learn something from every situation. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, we're excited to have you here with us.
I'm excited to be here.
Thank you so much.
Everyone is wonderful, and the team atmosphere here is like nothing I've seen before.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, good. We appreciate hearing that too. So, good stuff. Well, I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot from you over the next coming future. And guys, look out for her. She's on a mission. She's doing really well already right out of the gate. And again, Diane, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Good stuff. If you want to learn more about Diane, you can check her out at diane.landry@evrealestate.com. Again, diane.landry@evrealestate.com.